A couple of days ago, I put out the video, Nicotine is Nicotine is Nicotine. And it just is covering how administering nicotine via any source after you've quit smoking is basically a drug relapse. It's putting you back to needing nicotine again, which is likely going to put you back to smoking. Well, after that came out, I found an article, and I don't know if the article came out before or after, but it wasn't inspiring me at the time. I hadn't seen it, and now that it's there, I'm going to tie it in to that video. And it was about a study, I guess, that was done, a survey, that over 1 million people relapsed to smoking after the September 11th, 2001 attacks across the United States. And there was a scientist, and I don't know who the scientist was. All I did was see the headline and read this article that didn't discuss the scientist himself. But the article said that the suggestion was that as part of natural disasters or disaster plans, they should have available free nicotine replacement in order to basically supply it to the former smokers who are now encountering all this stress, who are going to possibly take a cigarette and go back to smoking. And again, the solution that this scientist has come up with was, let's give them free nicotine replacement. The lunacy here is just incredible. I actually made a commentary about this several years ago that I put into the string carrying cigarettes. Again, it'll be put in the description, and I'll put a link right into the commentary there where the exact post where this was at. And it talked about how the pharmaceutical companies were now coming up with this campaign that people should carry after they quit smoking using nicotine replacement. They should always carry it with them, just in case they encounter stress. And in that article, I point out that people are going to encounter stress. And if you're carrying nicotine with you, when it happens, you're going to take that nicotine. In that commentary, I put out a couple of examples of, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if you don't have the nicotine with you when you encounter this stressful situation, whether it be a big disaster or a minor little problem. Are you going to stop breathing because you don't have the nicotine? Is your heart going to stop beating? Are you going to burst a blood vessel in your brain? No, none of these things are going to happen. If you get an urge for a cigarette, you're going to have an urge for a cigarette. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have an urge. And if you can focus at that point in time, which you need to be able to do, yes, even under stress, you need to be able to focus on, you used to smoke. You had this big problem. You had a drug addiction. You fought tooth and nail at some point to get off that addiction, and you don't want to reintroduce the stuff and have to do it again, because you may not be able to do it again. And while this disaster that's happening is happening, and while your life may be in disarray at this point, given time, again, weeks, months, whatever, this other problem is going to, dissipate its impact on your life, even if you're in the middle of the thing, let alone if you're across the country, you're just an individual who is seeing it on the media like all the other people in the country who are seeing it and feeling stress at that point. But taking nicotine into your system is possibly going to cause you to, again, go back to smoking, and that's possibly going to cause the problems that smoking can cause. That can take your life. This can become a disaster of major proportion in every person who, is part of your life, because they're going to lose you because you've turned into a smoker and smoking did something to you and it cost you your life. See this for what it is. We are dealing with a nicotine addiction. Go back to that Nicotine is Nicotine video. If you have not seen it before, go see it now and take that message. And if you start seeing reports, kind of like this one of, suggestions of, keep nicotine replacement around just in case. The people who are suggesting this, they don't know what they're dealing with. They don't understand. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not understanding this either. They're not getting this message of what smoking and stress, what that tie-in is, and what the implication of taking nicotine is once you've quit. Taking nicotine is putting it back into your system. It's causing your body to need it again. It's causing a demand for a physical addiction that, left unchecked, is going to cost you a fortune over your lifetime will cost you your health, and eventually will cost your life. If you understand that implication, even under stressful times, you should be able to keep your resolve up with the understanding that you don't want to be that person again, you don't want to be stuck in that position again, and if you don't want to be a user again, it's a matter of never putting nicotine in your body from any source. And of course, for cigarettes, it's a matter of understanding to never take another puff.